Hi class, today we are on Saxon Math Book 4, Lesson 89, and we are going to talk about mixed numbers and improper fractions. So you guys are used to seeing fractions where the small number is the numerator and the bigger number is the denominator. I'm going to call that a proper fraction because that's how we write our answers if we're writing an answer on a test or solving a math problem in our homework. And that's what we're used to seeing. An improper fraction is where the numerator is a larger number than the denominator. So for example, 3/2. Improper fractions are related to mixed numbers because mixed numbers are where we take a whole number and then we tack a fraction onto it. So we're mixing whole numbers with fraction numbers, and we call that a mixed number. So I'm going to show you a picture of 3/2 and 1.5. So here we have 3/2. I have a circle. I split it into 2/2. I have to draw another circle to get my 3/2. So now I've got them all colored in. There's 3/2. Well, now let me show you 1 and 1/2. I'm going to draw one whole circle to represent my 1, and then I'm going to draw half. Do you notice that these pictures are the same? So we can say that 3/2 is equal to 1.5, and I just proved it with my picture. All right, so our first example in our book is very similar to what I just showed you. It says draw circles to show that 2 3/4 is equal to 11/4. So when you get this kind of problem on your math tests or in your math problems, we are looking for two sets of circles. They want you to actually draw 2 3/4. So one circle, two circles. There's my whole number, two whole circles. And then a third circle that I split into fourths to show the fraction. So there's my 2 3/4. And then it wants you to draw 11/4. So I'm going to take a circle. There's 4/4. So I need another one. So that, if I color them all in, would be 8/4. So that's still not enough. I need a third circle there. I'm at 8, 9, 10, 11. So here I've shown two whole circles and 3/4. Here I've shown three circles that got split into fourths, and then I colored in 11 of them. And that's what your book and your tests will be looking for when they give you instructions to draw circles to show that a mixed number is equal to an improper fraction. Okay, so we have an activity to do. If you are my student, you have lesson activity 37 and 38 attached to your lesson plans. However, there's only one page with half circles, and as I'm looking at the directions, it wants you to have 3 of them. So you can also just take notebook paper and cut out 3 circles that are all the same size, and then cut those circles in half. You are also going to need the quarter circles, and it looks like 7. It looks like you're just going to need 2 of those quarter circles. So you can take 2 more circles that are the same size as your halves and cut those into fourths. Put me on pause while you take care of that, and then come on back and we'll do the activity together. All right, so you were supposed to put 5 half circles on your desk. So just count out 5 of the halves, lay them any way you want, and then arrange 4 of them so they're put together into whole circles. Then it says draw a picture of the whole and part circles that you formed. So you should have something that looks like this: 2 halves put together, 2 more halves put together, and then you're still going to have another half circle down there that's kind of the odd man out. Now, write the improper fraction and the mixed number this represents. So let's start with the improper fraction. How many halves do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we write down 5. And how many halves does it take to make a whole circle? It only takes 2. So 5 halves is our improper fraction. Now we're going to write our mixed number. How many whole circles do we have? We have 2. And then how many halves are left? 1 half. So 5 halves is the same thing as 2 and 1 half. All right, now it says place one more whole circle on your desk, and I'm sorry, not one more whole circle, one more half to form a whole circle. So now you have 3 whole circles. Write the improper fraction and the whole number represented. So how many halves do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 halves. And it takes 2 to make a whole circle. And how many whole circles do we have? 3. Are there any halves left over? No, there aren't. So 6 halves equals 3. Now I want to point something out. Remember when I said we could write division problems as a fraction? This looks like a division problem, doesn't it? 6 divided by 2 equals 3. Sometimes that works with improper fractions. Sometimes an improper fraction is going to end up being just a whole number with no leftover halves there. Okay, take away your half circles, and now you're going to bring out your quarter circles, your 1/4, and I want you to count 7 of them. Fit 7 pieces to form as many whole circles as you can, and then put together the pieces that are left over to form as much of a circle as you can. So you should have 4 pieces together like that, and then you're going to end up with kind of that 3/4 as well. Okay? Now we're going to write the improper fraction and the mixed number that forms this, 7/4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. How many does it take to make a whole? 1, 2, 3, 4. And our mixed number, how many whole circles do we have here? 1. And then what is this fraction? We have 3 pieces. It takes 4 to make a whole. There we have our mixed number. All right, so now we're going to add 1 more 4th in there to create another whole circle. And we will write our improper fraction and mixed number again. How many 4ths do we have now? We have 8/4, and that is equal to 2 whole circles. Once again, what is 8 divided by 4? It's 2, so here's just another division problem that we can show using fractions. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have some lesson practice to do, lesson practice A, B, and C, where you're going to be drawing more fractions and mixed numbers. Feel free to use those circles before you draw them. They are on page 565 of your book, and your written practice begins on page 565 as well. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon.